Alright guys, welcome back to my boat. This is my personal bass boat. I bought it last summer. Cost a pretty penny, but it's a great place to be able to give this speech to you guys because it's exactly what I want to talk about. I want to talk about fishing. So this persuasive speech, I gave it a lot of thought, and there wasn't one particular item that I really wanted to sell. I could have talked about a specific rod, a specific reel, a trolling motor, a boat like this. But I feel like if I talked about one item like that, lots of people would have questions. And it's not that I don't like questions. I love having questions asked because it allows me to interact with you guys. But the thing is I want to give a broader knowledge. So I just want to talk about fishing in general, and I want to sell the idea of going out and going fishing because it's my passion. It's what I love to do. It's my favorite way to spend my free time. So today I want to talk about where you can go right now during this pandemic, what to fish on that lake, and how to fish those items. Because I don't know where you guys are at in terms of your fishing skill level. Whether you're just starting out, you're kind of, I know what I'm doing, but I want a little more knowledge, or if you're really advanced and you're just kind of watching this for a refresher course. I personally don't have the most knowledge about all of these ways to fish. I kind of just do them because that's what I've been taught, and I haven't really expanded beyond that. I really would look forward to doing so, but I haven't quite done it yet. I haven't had enough time. So the first thing I want to talk about is where you can go and fish. So personally, in this old boat, it's an 87 Ranger bass boat. It's got a big 150 horse motor on the back, and so there's only a couple lakes that I can actually go and turn on my motor and let it run out full speed. This boat will get up to like 60 miles an hour, and lots of lakes don't like that because it creates big, huge waves and it tears up the shorelines. So there's two lakes semi-locally that I can go. The first one is Clinton Lake. It's a state park in Clinton, Illinois. I can open it up, but when I go there, the fishing's okay. I can fish about 7 to 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then the fish kind of shut down, and I spend the rest of the day on the water, just kind of cruising around, talking to people, and having a good day. The other lake that I can go with this boat that I haven't yet been to because the launch has been closed is Powerton. It's a lake in Pekin. It's a power plant facility lake, so it's always heated, and which is really nice as a bass fisherman because then the fish aren't diving down to those deep waters during the winter. They're able to stay shallower, so you're able to kind of pick them off a little easier when you're out there fishing. The other lakes that I want to talk about, so if you don't have access to a boat like this and you want to still go out and fish, there's ways that you can do it. There's a lake in Washington called Bowen Lake. It's not my favorite lake to go to because I don't always do well, but it could just be me. It could just be the way that I like to fish. The fish there aren't used to, so they don't want to eat that way. But it's a great lake that you can walk around. You can walk the entire shoreline and fish from anywhere, which is really good for somebody that doesn't have a boat, and that gives you the opportunity to go out and fish. The other two lakes that I want to talk about are Snake Den and Sancris. Those are two lakes that I have not personally yet fished, but my dad has fished them, and a guy that I'm very close with, his name is Chris Benedict. He's an avid fisherman here in Washington. If you know the name, you know who he is. He is crazy about fishing, and they both rave about it. They both have said really good things from all the tournaments that they've done on the lake, and so that right there is an indication that I want to go fish this lake, or these two lakes actually, because I haven't yet, and I really, really want to go, but I haven't just had the opportunity yet. But on all of these lakes, there's three things that I like to throw. No matter where I go, no matter who I talk to, these things are always on the top of the list. So this right here is a 1/4 ounce Ike's Missile flipping jig. I can't tell if you can see it, but it's got that nice chartreuse backing, very natural colors. It's a very natural way that the fish would normally eat, but it's got that bright bit of chartreuse in it to kind of just give that extra enticing, to give that extra little bit of, I want to eat this for the fish. And that's a good way. Usually I'll put a trailer on it, but sometimes I'll just leave it as the open hook with the little weedless guard on it to try and keep out of the weeds. You can put a trailer on it. I like to use Strike King's Rage Cross, usually in green pumpkin or Okeechobee Crawl. Those are two really good colors. I don't currently have any on my boat. I broke them all off this past weekend. The next thing is the Reaction Innovations Spicy Beaver. It's currently tied onto a rod, so I can't really get to it for you guys. It's in a very, very bright neon flipping color, so it really attracts that fish. And it's got those big paddle tails. Like if you watched my informative speech, you know what I'm talking about because you saw them there. It really move the water and get the fish's attention. It's another good one to start with because it is a nice bright color to kind of attract the fish, but it also gives a lot of that water movement that the fish really keen in on. So that's another good one. The last one I want to talk about is a spinnerbait. This one is a triple willow. That's what these little blades right here are called. They're called willow leaf blades. The other style is a Colorado, more of a circle. I like the triple willow. If you have a Colorado, I put the willow here and a Colorado up top. This one has a gold flake and a white skirt. It's got that nice bit of bright shiny. And what these blades do is they move water, yeah, but they also reflect. So when it's really nice and sunny out, this bait stays towards the top of the water and it reflects that sunlight back down into the water and gets those fish's attention. I picked this one up at Bass Pro. It's like $6, $7, something like that. The Reaction Innovation Spicy Beaver comes in a 6-pack for $5.99. And then this little Mike Ike's fishing flipping jig 1/4 ounce comes in a single pack for like $3. So none of the stuff that I've shown you is very expensive. It's really not. I don't try to buy the most expensive gear because I know I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna get caught on a tree, I'm gonna get a fish that bites it off, I'm gonna lose it somehow. I have 3 little brothers. They are prone to losing fishing gear. So how to fish these. So the flipping jig and the Spicy Beaver from Reaction Innovations, you fish them very similarly. You gotta get up close and personal with the bank, you gotta pitch it right up in there, and then you just kind of work it out. You kind of bounce it on the bottom and pull it up, and then reel down your slack, and then bounce it up off the bottom and reel down your slack. So that kind of acts as like the crawfish kind of intimidator, because it kind of imitates what the crawfish does, and so it's a natural predator or a natural prey for the bass to eat. With the spinnerbait, this is another favorite of mine, and it's another really, really good starter lure. So all you do with this thing is you cast it out and you reel back in. It's as simple as that. You cast it out where you want it and you reel it right back in straight up. You can kind of speed it up, slow it down, but that's all you do. You cast it out and reel it in, because all of this works on its own. All of these blades, they move around, the skirt moves, I have a little trailer on it, it moves on its own. You don't have to do anything crazy with this lure to get fish to bite. It's a pretty standard lure. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to sell an idea. I didn't want to sell a single product. I just didn't feel comfortable selling one thing. So those are the 3 types of lures, the 5 lakes that I really enjoy or really want to go fish, depending on which lake you're looking at, and how to use the lures. So I thank you guys for staying tuned to this video. I know it's a little longer than it's